my God, he's still at it. Okay, set of 9 reps, 315. This would be another work set here. All right, incline dumbbell press. Unbelievable. Onto flies. This is insane. This is how you know you train chest once a week. You're going to need a week to recover from that. Hey folks, Dr. Mike here for the RP Strength channel. I am a former professor of exercise and sports science. I was kicked out of the academy for honestly, they were teaching us to do lightsaber stuff, and I just played around too much. Cut some kid's finger off. They said, you can't come back here anymore. Pretty beat up about it. I got me a jiu-jitsu black belt, and I started competing in bodybuilding. Though it's not as cool as the Jedi Academy with which I was formally involved, I think it's pretty neat. But you know what's neater? Getting one of the best chests of all time and then using it to win the Mr. Olympia contest. And if you are Jay Cutler, you did exactly that. And good news, the Discovery Channel and National Geographic paired together, drained all of their accounts to create a time machine to throw one videographer back with a camera to film this workout. So the miracles of modern AI and time travel, we now have Jay Cutler's Olympia-winning chest workout. We're going to work through it together. We're going to get nitty-gritty. We're going to talk that shit. And then after that, we're going to talk more shit, talk shit all the time until people realize I only know things about exercise science and nobody else does. At the very least, I'll make a lot of mistakes. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Giant chest. Okay, so he is doing incline barbell bench presses. And Jay Cutler, at this point, muscle size-wise and neural preparedness, is almost certainly good for multiple sets of 5 to 10 reps, maybe even more, with 4 plates on a side. And he's doing 1 plate on a side, which means this is definitely a warm-up. And he's doing a lot of reps because here's the thing. This is pre-contest. For regular folks, just getting into training, or for pretty advanced folks that are weighing 180 pounds, 200 pounds, etc., warm up until you feel ready. And I'll give you a little insider tip, a little pro tip. A little bit more warming up almost always beats a little bit less, because safety beats effect. Why? Because safety means you won't get hurt, which means you'll have more effect by having more sessions in succession. Can you grow better from 5 amazing sessions or 8 pretty good sessions? The answer is 8 pretty good sessions, but you might knock 3 sessions off every 8 because you're hurt. So this is some insurance policy shit. Let's take a look at these reps. Notice that control close to the chest. Even a little pause every now and again. Excellent. Okay, so I believe that was Jay's wife at the time. Her name was Carrie, if I read the muscle magazines appropriately. And this is definitely in Gold's Gym Las Vegas, which no longer exists, I don't think.
Gold Gym Sahara Decatur. They call this place the Pit. Oldest equipment, but the best.
I think they straight up made equipment better in the 80s than they did in more modern times. Though I will say things are very, very much improving. We got Atlantis, we got Prime, we got Free Motion, tons of great companies. And I'll say, if you ever go to Las Vegas, don't bother looking for this gym. It doesn't exist anymore. But there are so many unbelievable gyms in Vegas now. Scott, there's got to be at least 5 gyms. There's just hornet's nests of pros in them. Yeah, so Vegas is the place to be. And if you have a haircut like Jay Cutler, anywhere is the place to be. Excellent technique. I mean, yeah, that's nowhere close to failure, it looks like, but 315 for 8, even for Jay Cutler, is at least going to do some maintenance stuff and maybe a little bit of growth. Good God, he's huge. Okay, set of 9 reps, 315. This would be another work set here. This is a work set. You don't grunt and groan and the bar doesn't slow down for no reason. Jay Cutler's close to failure now. Excellent technique, excellent bar path, full range of motion. You notice his shoulder blades are back, his back is arched, his chest is up, fully exposing his chest to a deep stretch. And the pause is extra insurance against injury. Bouncing out of the bottom of a big heavy press like that when you're so close to a show is probably going to be fine, but possibly going to be a real big deal for injury. And so him pausing it reduces those forces at the bottom. It still gets you a lot of tension and time under tension at the bottom, which is really hypertrophic, but the peak forces decline, which is probably for the best in this case. That was close to failure. We're up to 2 work sets now. Very good. Scott, you want to track the work sets here? Excellent. Oh, big man. First of all, this screenshot here looks ridiculous. Scott, do your arms ever look like that when you're benching? I sure don't.
Just like that.
Yeah, my legs don't look like that. This is really impressive. This is motivational type of shit. 4 repetitions. Let's see these reps and then I'll talk shit. Hard set, probably 2 reps in reserve. Very effective when it's 4 reps because every single one of those is hypertrophic. That total tension load on the bar is really, really high. On the one hand, this is risky for sure because this is lots of weight. On the other hand, a lot of the top pro bodybuilders are very fast twitch dominant. Larger fractions of their total number of muscle fibers, their muscle cells, are on that faster twitch spectrum of muscle fiber activity, which means they probably benefit from heavier training versus higher rep training a little bit more than the average person. And some high-level bodybuilders report that if in their pre-contest phase, they never get a chance to lift pretty goddamn heavy weights at least a little bit, they lose fullness and size in their muscles. And that is a legit thing that so many people say, and it makes some physiological rationale that we have to consider it as a serious hypothesis. And if we put the fact that this is not actually as dangerous because he's quite fatigued for it, acutely fatigued, and very warmed up, and might need that swag feel of heavy weights like a lot of top pros do to make their muscles as full as possible, then all of a sudden, this doesn't sound crazy. The other great thing about Jay Cutler is that his technique is basically immaculate the entire time. If someone was half rep YOLOing this would be like really, really not a good idea. This is great technique. So I think, all the considerations we can take, this is not a completely insane practice. It is quite sensible. I also say that if your shirt is sufficiently lemon yellow, you can get away with a lot. Notice Jay is tired as fuck. His technique is undifferentiable. It's the same flawless technique, rep to rep to rep, set to set to set. This is a professional athlete, folks. Take notes. And by take notes, I mean just throw away your notepad and your Excel sheets. The RP Hypertrophy app has all of your workouts displayed in one place with guided videos on exercise techniques and a program that evolves to better suit your needs the longer you use the app. All you have to do is follow the plan right on your phone and get the gains. Click on the link in the description of this video to get started. Awesome. All right. So Scott, we're going to count 315, 315, 405, and to the 225 at the end as work sets. 4 work sets. But let's do a math thing. Because the first 315 was like meh, let's say it's 3 work sets. 3 work set equivalents. We're rolling. All right. Incline dumbbell press. Notice something gorgeous about what Jay is doing here. He is touching the very outsides of his pecs. He's not repping halfway. He's going all the way out to the outsides, which means bigger stretch, which means more growth. Excellent technique here. His chest is arched up. The bench angle compensates. His shoulders are back. And honestly, the best part of his technique is at least one of his nipples are out at all times, which I encourage every gym member to try at least once. If you're female, I've never met a female in real life, but I think it works. Scott, is it the same kind of a different advice then?
I mean, nipples out always.
Nipples out 24/7. We out here, baby. Folks, there is still more video to come. However, we have a member section where you get a longer, extended version of this video, tons of nerdy deep dives, tons of my own training to follow along regularly. Jared Feather's training, the whole thing's in there. Give it a click. Members area is awesome. Otherwise, back to the video. Okay, reps. Add a work set, Scott. Okay, we got another set here.
Good job. Yeah, let's go.
Oh yeah, that pause. God, Scott, look at his arms. Hey. And then one more. Them's his big dumbbells, huh?
Yeah. looks like he kept going up through all these sets of 7, but I couldn't find the exact number, but I think I was trying to count the rings. I think they kept getting heavier.
Interesting. Very interesting. Going up. Okay. Well, these are all fairly close to failure. And as a matter of fact, his spotter is actually giving some assistance there. So you can technically say like these are very close to failure because he's almost doing forced reps. Very, very cool. Oh yeah, I forgot from back in the day. Jay Cutler was on a podcast and he said he never went to failure essentially a single time in his training. And he never trained on purpose to failure. And that hurt a lot of people's feelings because I think a lot of people have spirit animals like Mike Menser, Ronnie Coleman, and Dorian Yates that they talk about like failure training makes you a man and you're a pussy if you don't do it. And these guys are huge, so clearly works the best. And it turns out that stopping a few reps shy of failure works just as well as failure training. With a couple of pluses, a couple of minuses, it kind of evens out. So, Jay Cutler's not very inspirational on the going to failure part. He's insanely inspirational at getting jacked part. So if you're looking for him to go to failure here on anything, it's likely it won't happen simply because he was never trying to do that. He was trying to cook the muscle a good bit, but not go all the way to the end. So Scott, how many work sets are we at total? So 6 total work sets, hard sets. All right. Now we're on pec deck or machine flies. Yeah, machine flies. Very good. Let's see this. Super huge range of motion. Okay, that's definitely a warm-up, not a work set. That's a work set for sure. Yep, he's getting into some pain. I'll call that a work set, maybe half a work set, Scott.
Yeah, it was tough because they didn't really do a good job at showing his weight in between.
Yes.
Also, like sometimes they did, as you can see here, but it was tough to keep track.
Yes. Dude, that stack makes me nostalgic. I've had some of the best training in the world on stacks like that with some of the numbers missing and shit. I love it. Whoa! Onto flies. This is insane. This is how you know you train chest once a week. You're going to need a week to recover from this. Packed flies. Phenomenal. Total control. Even a little pause at the bottom. Ultra deep stretch. Man, that looked like a work set to me. But let's not count it just in case. This is definitely a work set. So 1 work set here.
Yeah, it made some improvements to my chest. The 2003 season.
Is it just me, or does Jay Cutler sound like John F. Kennedy? Ask not what your pecs can do for society, but what society can do for your pectoralis major muscles. And then, Scott, you know what he did after?
What?
Marilyn Monroe.
My man.
In the White House office. Oh, really? Hollywood's got so much pressure. And he's like, yeah, see, now scram, see? Did I mess up some decades? Yes. But why did I bring up this? This is such an awkward time to bring up the situation with Marilyn Monroe. I'll tell you guys why. When I see Marilyn Monroe, a picture of Marilyn Monroe, I see timeless beauty. And timeless beauty reminds me of love. And love reminds me of a connection so strong that it is almost impossible to break. Which reminds me of VersaGrips, which you can tie around the bar for lateral raises, for upright rows, for stiff-legged deadlift, and your grip will not fail. So that your shoulders and your back and your hamstrings can get the best workouts they have ever received. Is it a good idea to nickname your VersaGrips when you get them, as one as Marilyn and the other one as Monroe? Maybe. I'm not going to tell you what's right or wrong, but should you also consider when you have a girlfriend, or for the 6.5 women that follow this channel, a boyfriend or a leslie friend? Should you use your VersaGrips when you're hugging them to stay closely connected to their body? You know, because you need to, Scott, you know how motherfuckers will hug a bitch they love and they're like, I'm never going to let you go. You know, say shit like that. But like if I was a girl, I'd be like, oh yeah, motherfucker, but why aren't you using VersaGrips if you're really serious about the shit? Fair. How do you answer that one? VersaGrips, we have a link in the description. Go buy them. They're amazing. And holding the one you love, a close second to VersaGrips.
Get away from more of the pressing movements. Stuck to a lot of stretching movements such as flies, pec deck, cable crossover. So I must do more fly kind of movements in my routine than I do pressing.
Flies are great, especially for isolating the chest. I will try both and have an even mix in most programs.
One more.
Work set. Add another one, Scott. Oh my God, he's still at it. Now, okay, this exercise we can call a fly, but it's really an exercise called the fly press. We do have it in our RP hypertrophy app with demo. It's when you come down and it's mostly a fly in the descent, but at the bottom of the descent, you come in a little closer to give yourself a leverage advantage. This is crazy eccentric stretch. And then you're able to half press the dumbbells up at a smaller angle, which allows you to complete the movement. This is maximizing a stretch, adding in heavier weight and a little bit of a press. It's a nuanced technical movement, but it's really, really good fun if you get into it. Definitely another one.
Only got 3 for fly.
3. Scotty's still working out.
Mike, I think he's got more than one exercise left.
Okie dokie. How many sets are we at currently? Work sets?
So we call this 11 work.
11 work sets. Okie doke. Let's see how many more we got. That's it, huh?
That's all there is.
All right. Jay, you could have done a few more sets of
What are we
pullovers.
calling that? 2 at the end? 1?
We'll call it 1.
Okay, so adding that up, that's 14.
14. What'd I say? 8 to 15?
Yeah.
Yahoo. If we argue that some of the sets I counted weren't close enough to failure for us internet judges, then I'd say the worst case scenario, it's 8. And if we count some of them as like, well, really you said half a set, but really it's 1. Now we're up closer to like 17, 18. Somewhere in that 10 to 15 range, if you train a muscle once a week, is a really awesome amount of sets to do hard working sets. And so from Jay Cutler's workout, we can take a few really good hints. One is technique is such a goated thing. Control, full range of motion, big stretch, amazing. Another thing is that volume is king. At the end of the day, every single study so far done, maybe but one, we're talking dozens of studies, all lead to the same conclusion. The more sets per week you do close to failure, the more you grow, as long as you can recover. The upper limit of that still has yet to be determined. There is currently maybe one study that has never been replicated that has seen a decline in hypertrophy at a certain level of volume that was too much. Every other study damn near, other than that, including studies that worked up to 52 sets per week. Scott, they were trying to figure out a number of studies and they just like someone threw a deck of cards on the table. So,
That's it.
oh, holy
Everyone.
shit. Those people still grew better than people that did 40-ish sets. So we're talking about volume is a big, big deal for hypertrophy, especially if you're already pretty jacked and you want to go to that next level. You don't have to do it for full body because you'd probably die trying, but any muscle, especially that's giving you problems that isn't growing as much as you think it should be, more volume, increase a few sets here and there every week until you get to crazy high amounts. Deload, start back low and repeat. That is how you get good growth. And also I'll say this, really good warming up to make sure you don't get hurt. Folks, Jay Cutler is the man. He's goated. He's also a really, really cool human being in real life. He's all around Las Vegas. So if you see someone in Las Vegas that looks like Jay Cutler, he's probably Jay Cutler and you can probably talk to him and say very nice things. Scott, we got anything else to talk about before we sign off?
That's it.
That's it, folks. All right. I hope we learned some shit. And remember,
How do we rate Jay Cutler's chest workout?
we rate Jay Cutler's chest workout as an 8.5 out of 10. Everything north of 8.5 is persnickety stickler bullshit. Everything south of 8.5 is like legitimate critiques. And so this workout's great. Great doesn't mean the best it could be. Great doesn't mean you should be copying it. But great means taking everything into consideration. It works really well. And that's what I hope will happen to my penis soon. All right, that was fun. Guys, if you are desperate and if nothing else to do, the fun will continue in this thumbnail right here. Click on it, and maybe your life will be marginally better than otherwise. See you next time.